So let's just start with the poetry section. And there are four stanzas in this poem. Let's start with the first stanza. Let me just read out the poem, and I'm going to send a written. I'm going to upload a written PDF file for the poem also. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. This is the first stanza. In this stanza, the poet is mentioning he's just explaining one of his train journeys, experiences while he was traveling in the train, and he says that faster than fairies. Remember, this poem is not a modern form of poetry. So this is a poem when the trains used to be steam engine. We are talking about steam engine trains. So it's usually steam engine trains are not very fast. We are not talking about the bullet trains in Japan. So it has a normal speed where you can see things, you can pass by, and you can experience everything that you're passing while you're sitting in the train. So faster than fairies and faster than witches, and at the same time, the train is moving. It's at a pace that you cannot walk and jump in the train. So the poet is trying to say that when the train is moving forward, he is comparing the movement of the train, the speed of the train, with the fairies and witches. So of course this is a hypothetical imaginary example. You must have read all those fairy tale stories while you were growing up as little boys and little girls. So he's talking about those experiences, and he's talking about how the train is moving forward, and the train is moving so fast that it is moving faster than all the fairy tale stories, and how the witches used to fly, and how the fairies used to fly with the wings. So basically, the meaning of these two lines is that the train is moving forward very fast, and he's comparing it with something which is mentioned in fairy tale stories to be something that flies very fast. And as the train is moving forward, even what I said, that when you are traveling in a bus or a train, when we started the introduction, you keep on passing things while you're sitting in the car or the bus or any other vehicle, or even in a train. You can see things that you have passed. You can see a young boy standing at the side of a road. You can see a cow. You can see a buffalo. You can see so many things that you keep on passing. And then you just, sometimes you think about that person, think about that thing that you crossed, and sometimes you just ignore it. But the poet here is mentioning everything that he experienced, that he saw, and that he passed while he was traveling in the train. So then the third line, he says that the train has moved and it has crossed bridges. So that in this scenario, we can understand that the train has not crossed one bridge, but it must have crossed a couple of bridges. So the bridge can be over a river, can be over a canal, can be over, maybe it is just meeting two mountains. But because this poem, it can be any situation. And as the train is moving forward and he's sitting, he's enjoying all these experiences. He's enjoying the beautiful scenery that he can see while he's sitting quietly, comfortably in and at the side of his window train, and he's experiencing all these beauties of nature and human beings and animals. And in the same way, he has crossed houses. So again, we can understand that he has not crossed one house, two house, but a couple of houses. So we can understand that he has not crossed through a forest. Maybe now he has reached a place where there are settlements. There are people living on either sides of the train track. And then suddenly, while he's moving, he can see hedges. So hedges can be a boundary which is made either by wild bushes or by stones to mark out a boundary. And while he's crossing all these experiences, and he's completely enjoying his travel journey. Usually journeys are very soothing. Journeys are supposed to be very relaxing, unless and until you are traveling in a bullock cart or something like that. But this experience of Robert um, is something that he loved. I'm sure he loved it so much that he translated it into a beautiful poem, and you're reading it today after so many years. And ditches. Ditches can be a shallow canal, uh, something that can be built on either sides of a road or a farm, you know, uh, either to collect water or to make a passage. So the train is crossing all these experiences. The train is moving fast, and the train is crossing the bridges and houses, and all that is mentioned in this beautiful poem. And in the third line, see, it says that and charging along like troops in a battle. Again, the poet is trying to compare these situations, these experiences metaphorically. He's comparing these situations so that with troops. Troops here means soldiers who are charging, who are moving forward as if they are ready to fight in a battle, in a combat, where two groups of armies are coming and meeting together and fighting. So the movement of this train, the speed of the train, and the way how this train is moving forward and crossing everything and not stopping and looking back at anything. He is experiencing, comparing this experience with the soldiers in a battle who do not look back, do not stop, do not experience, do not look at whatever is going here and there, but they keep on charging forward, they keep on moving forward. So such is the speed, such is the speed of the train, and the poet is completely enjoying this experience. And in the fourth line, it says that all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. So while the train is moving, as we started in the second line and the second line and the third line, we can understand that the train has crossed through settlements, through human settlements. The train has crossed through bridges. The train has crossed through human houses, and the train has crossed through hedges and ditches. So we have a vague idea that the train has crossed through places where people live. But now suddenly in the last line, in the fourth line, you can see that the train has now come out of all those places, and the train is moving forward through the meadows, through the jungles, through the grassland, through the green pastures. And in the green pastures, what you can see is the horses and cattle who are grazing in the green pastures. So now this is a completely different experience. I'm sure, even let's say for example, even if you're going to a small village, let's say for example you're going on a picnic, what are the things that you see? Maybe your school has taken you to in a forest land. So these are the experiences you see and you enjoy, because you don't get to see these things every day. In the same way, the poet is mesmerized, and he just loves this experience, that now everything is so calm and beautiful. He can experience and enjoy nature at its full, and what he can see is the forest, the grassland, the pastures, the green grass. Pastures means, and he can see the horses and cattle, the cows. The horses, they're grazing, they're enjoying the fruits of nature.